Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be going over some ideas about how to counter Gold Mythic Angel. I know a few of you would have run into her quite a bit over the war weekend, and she is a troublesome character. There isn't too much in the game that can actually, deal with her at the moment. There is not any hard counters when it comes to effects, trauma, exhaust. These things don't exist yet. If these things do come into the game, it might be a little bit easier just based on how her kit works. But in the meantime, you've got to basically make do with what you have, what characters you've managed to pull, so on and so forth. Now, I have kind of come up with two different variants on how to deal with Angel, and one of them is around MAME, and it's quite accessible characters. Can be countered obviously with a main resist mod, and this is going to be the issue there. And the other one was a nice little character that was brought to my attention on my live stream that seems to do very well against Angel indeed. Now, if you want to see how I'm gearing out my Angel in this video, you can go and check out my Angel guide video, which should be a link in the top right hand corner. And she is basically boosting her HP as much as possible just because she's going to get defense from other sources. Pretty much as simple as that. The only difference for this first test is my Angel is no longer going to have main resist. And this is how to deal with Angels potentially who do not have main resist. Now, if an Angel does have main resist, it just comes down fully to RNG. You could hit all the attacks that you need to do. You could obviously fall short and not be able to do that either. These are the main three characters of this team. And as you can see, we have got all accessible characters. We've got a war character in Kapoor. We've got the new depot release character in Wang Fu. And Jiafeng is a 90% character. I know she's harder to come by, but she does hit very hard with her main attacks. And also she duels up with Kapoor really well when they're in the same line. I might make a little video about how to build these sort of characters as a team and stuff in the future, but you just want to get their HP as high as possible. 12% into a line of teammates in the last slot, that sort of thing, it gets it nice and high. Now, the last two slots on the team can be whatever you want. You can do different types of damage. You could try and create an actual percentage damage to characters. It's going to not get anything from the leader. That's going to be the downside. So I'm just going to put one extra character in here just for infection. And we're not going to do a full attack here. We're going to attack half a defense team because it's mainly Angel that's going to be the thing we're focusing on here. So the last character I'm going to use in this team is going to be Alpha, but I'm not going to use Alpha to try and take out Angel. It's just to show you how the main style of things can actually take out Angel. Alpha actually can't take out Angel. Her infection and stuff doesn't work because it gets cleansed at the beginning of every turn. And this is one of the bigger problems when it comes to Angel herself. So just to show you quickly what the defense team is going to look like, I'm going to take out Ezekiel and Andre quite early. I want to try and show you what it's like in a last character alive situation when it comes to Angel, where you can leave her till last with main and then deal with her. Obviously, only if she doesn't have main resist. But you can see that she has 54,000 HP and 92,000 defense. This is obviously the important thing when it comes to how well built this character is. Okay, so we have got to the point where Angel is the last character alive, and I know a lot of people have recommended you should not do this. You should not leave her to the last character alive, but I found she's actually quite easy to take out with the right setups, and I'm going to just show you how basically I can do it with this particular team. Now, if you impair a character, they don't take any AP from taking damage, and your main's going to work pretty well here. So that's what Wang Fu's signature move can do. It's going to impair her, and that means any follow-up that I do, she's not going to gain any AP, as you can see. Now, she has got a huge amount of HP, so she's going to be able to take this damage. And the next turn, she's going to cleanse, but she doesn't actually heal. She just cleanses the main. It just becomes healable HP. The only situation where this could be a problem is if you had Davey on the defense team too, and he did start popping off, and she has got, some HP heals here. But now it's going to be quite easy. I've got Jiafeng and Kapoor's signature move up as well. It doesn't matter what order you use them in. And you obviously can just take out the character for the win. So just to show you quickly again how it works, you can use the signature moves first of Jiafeng and Kapoor. You don't have to use their rushes first. The only important thing is Angel has to be 0 AP. She has to have just rushed for this to actually work. Otherwise, she's going to rush on the next turn and give herself that big 100% heal, and that's what's going to counter it. So we can just go through the signature moves, get rid of some of her HP with the main. She's going to cleanse it automatically with her passive. It doesn't heal it back up. As you can see, it's not giving her rush. If she rushed right now, it would heal it back up. And then you can just take her out with a rush or a signature move, whatever you have available. So this one is pretty simple, but pretty easily countered. Just one main mod, and in my guide, I actually recommend using a main mod just for this case. That is going to be harder to actually use this team unless you actually know an Angel has not got a main resist mod, or if you haven't got access to other characters. These are actually much easier characters to come by than some of these other characters like Wang Fa and Kapoor. Pretty straightforward. I think if you wanted to, regardless of your level of play, you could go for these characters. Kapoor is in the War Depot, probably easily the best character in there when it comes to newer players. Very, very useful. And Wang Fa is in the new Mythic store. Again, very good leader for defense and some attack teams when it comes to using like MAME and stuff like that. So very accessible characters. Like I said before, Jie Feng is the harder one to come by. Now, there are definitely some other ways you could try and take out this team. I've tried different ways when it comes to leaders. I tried things like Harper lead. Harper is really nice. If you've got Harper, that's really cool. You could go for a very heavy, fast attack team with like Herschel lead. If you've got a trader attack team, I think you're going to be fine. You shouldn't have too much of a problem with a trader attack team just because you're getting 50% attack boost rather than like the 25s and 30% which all the other leaders give. So it's going to be a nice, really big boost there. The damage output's going to be enough, generally speaking. But there is a character that was recommended to me on my live streams, and it was by Katrina Tam on my live streams, so shout out, thank you very much. And it is a very good character when it comes to dealing with Angel, especially in that last character alive situation, which is what a lot of people recommend, not the situation you want to be facing. And that character would be Gold Mythic Conrad. He kind of hard counters Angel to a certain extent with two parts of his kit. I'm not going to do a big breakdown on it. If you actually, I did a preview of this character once upon a time. If you want to go and check that out, you can, but right now, we're going to look at the signature move, which is called Stupefy. It has an initial cooldown of 2 turns and a cooldown of 2 turns. Number of uses unlimited, so you can use this quite regularly throughout the fight. Attack an enemy for 250% damage. This is when it's fully upgraded, which I have done. Now, the last part is the important part. Remove all positive effects from that enemy. This is huge against Angel. If she's in that last character alive situation, she's going to have the 100% defense. She's going to have the permanent elusive. You can use this signature move. You can gain AP on your signature moves. You can obviously do a lot more damage as well. But not just that. You're going to do more damage because she hasn't got the defense. He also has a skill in his passives, which is going to boost damage quite nicely too. And it is this passive right here. It is Intimidating Resolve. When this character starts their turn, one enemy with the tank roll gets minus 40% defense for 1 turn. And obviously Angel is a tank. So there are a lot of tanky characters out there that are tank roll characters as well. And Conrad seems to be that kind of like pocket pick when it comes to being really useful. Obviously, some of you may not have this guy. He has been in the Gold Mythic Wheel since the changes to the Gold Mythic Wheel. He is in the 90% side. I managed to pick up 5 of this dude. And he was actually in the Mythic Store last season. If he was in the Mythic Store this season, that would have been fantastic. Obviously, you could just go for him straight away, but he's a bit harder to come by. If you haven't got him, you're kind of stuck potentially if you do need to obviously get more of this guy. You can see that when it comes to his upgrades, he doesn't actually have an LB2 on LB3 that you really need to upgrade. So you only realistically need to get him to grade 5 to get the best out of his passive when it comes to Intimidating Resolve. Because you can see he gets Intimidating Resolve 1 and 2 at grades 3 and 4. That is the ones that are really, really powerful for him. So, I mean, you could potentially use him as a grade 4, but obviously he's going to be less effective as a character in that situation. And then if we go to his passive, you can see that it gets a starting cooldown maxed at grade 3, but it does get the cooldown maxed at limit break 2. So it is quite a long cooldown if you don't get him to LB2. But otherwise, the only other bonuses he's getting is damage. Now, I have used him a fair bit. He can hit pretty hard, actually. Because he's the leader, he's going to be surrounded by 1535s. It's going to be quite nice. Realistically speaking, he's going to basically enable your damage dealers to do huge amounts of damage. Okay, so this was the attack team I was using Conrad in. You could obviously use very different characters. You could use characters like Rosita, Isabel. These characters are very hard-hitting characters. They're also fast, so they're going to do more damage against tough characters. But it's up to you how you want to build the rest of the team. I've gone for reasonably heavy amount of strong characters and still utilizing a strong attacks weapon to try and get as much damage as possible still. And obviously things like normalize with Titan, heavy amounts of damage, and normalize and control with Lydia. I find these characters very useful, but it's up to you what you want to do. You just got to make sure that the rest of the team still got to be taken down. While I'm showing you examples of how to take down Angel as the last character alive, the rest of the team is still going to be an issue. So you got to make sure you've got the characters for that too. Now, a big bonus of the current setup I've got as well is when I attack, Conrad obviously gives 3 Guardian Shields because of his leader skill. Because I'm using 2 heavy HP support characters, those Guardian Shields are guaranteed to go to the 3 characters that need them, which is going to be Conrad himself with 100k damage. You're going to have Titan with 100k attack, and then Lydia with 90k. They're all going to get the Guardian Shields, and they're generally going to be the ones that are focused a little bit more than others. But that's a nice little bonus on top. But we're going to get through the rest of this team again like we did before. And we're going to have Angel as that last character alive, just popping off her boost constantly. Okay, so we're in the same scenario again. We have got Angel as the last character alive. Now, the difference here is she's got max AP, and I've got no problems with actually, attacking her in this situation. We don't need 2 turns to do it. We just need to use the signature move of Conrad's. We remove the 100% defense. You can sort of see that cleanse animation that happened on her. She's already got the 40% defense down because he focuses a tank every turn with his passive 40% defense down. And that basically means I can just come in with any character's nuke. And obviously, someone like Lydia should do enough damage. But if you've got flat damage, it's actually better because there can be like weapon reduction damage, 50% reduction to incoming like crit damage, or there can be the fact that she is a tank, she can resist crits altogether. But the follow-up damage should be enough that you're just going to take out Angel even with that high base defense. So that's my like secret play, the secret character that's come out of my roster. I'm very fortunate that I had him at Limit Break 3, and I'm very thankful for the recommendation on my stream. It did make a big difference, and that's why I'm passing it on to you guys, because hopefully it makes a big difference to your gameplay as well. Angel is tough. She is tough. There are very limited ways to deal with her, but this seems to be one of the better ways. A bit of a bonus with Conrad as well is if you are coming up against these tanky tough teams, they will give that minus defense to any tank. It doesn't matter. And I have managed to take out Angel turn 1 just with a signature move of Lydia, because she did get the minus 40% defense off of turn 1, and she obviously has no buffs in that situation, and she's going to take massively amplified damage, and that was even with a Priya lead. So the minus 40% defense is definitely no joke, of course. But hopefully this is helpful for you guys. You've got like over 10 days to build a team for the next qualifier war, and if you have any thoughts or comments about how you're dealing with Angel, please leave them in the comments down below. Sharing is caring, guys. Sharing is caring. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.